My name's John Bettencourt. I own a swimming pool service company in Hemet, California. I work in the business and on the business. I currently have two employees and I service pools and repair, installation and repair. I had a lot of fun growing up. I wouldn't want to change that for anything. A lot of motorcycle riding I did, um, fishing, swimming, in the lake mostly. As far as swimming pools, there was very few pools in Lake Isabella. I had a good friend of mine, Pete. His parents had a pool, and that's where we would swim. When I was in high school, probably 16 years old, maybe. Lake Isabella is about 3 hours from Los Angeles or Torrance area, and my cousin and uncle owned a swimming pool service company there, and I would work there for the summers, usually at least a month or 2 months. That's where I learned about the business and about caring for pools, how to maintain the pools. It really helped me to work alongside the owner and operator of the company. I don't think ever since I was 16 years old, I don't think I ever really left the pool business. I would work for different companies. I went to college in San Luis Obispo, and I just called a pool service company and said, "Hey, I already know how to clean pools. All you have to do is give me the address and a truck, and I'll go there." So it was real easy. And then even when I worked, I got another job in Marina Del Rey, LA area, and I worked a swing shift for Teledyne Microelectronics. And even then, I got a job at a pool store cleaning pools during the day, from like 9 to 3 or something, and then I'd work in the evening at Teledyne. So I never really left. I never really left the industry. After college, I went back to Torrance, and my uncle got me a job with another pool service company. His name was George. He was an older guy, and I would just work with him. And after a few months of working with him, he had a heart attack and wasn't able to work. And I went and saw him in the hospital that day, and he just handed me all the keys to all the routes and said, "Hey, you're gonna have to do this." And I said, "Okay," and I did it. And at that time, when I was working by myself, running his business, it gave me a lot of confidence to know, hey, I can do this on my own. I'll be able to do this. All I need to do is get my own clients, because this is fairly simple to me and I like it. I actually started the business in 1990. I borrowed some money from my mother to buy a very small route. And also at that time, I was working for a pool store in Long Beach. So I was commuting kind of from Moreno Valley to Long Beach, cleaning his pools. And then I had my own small route in Moreno Valley. I figured the sky would be the limit as far as income would go. I mean, if I could handle doing the work and hire people to do it, then I could be really successful. I didn't know how to repair a heater or repair a pump, and I didn't know how to do that. So I was figuring, how am I going to learn how to do all this? I mean, my uncle and brother-in-law and many people in the industry would help me to learn that kind of stuff. So that was one of the scary things. And then I was not a good money manager. Probably even today I'm not a good money manager, but I still, one of those, I mean, owning a business, you really have to create a budget and, stick to that and try to make things happen, financially. And that was a challenge to me. And then trying to get like health insurance and all that, that was a challenge. And then how am I going to get new customers? That's probably one of the biggest. Like, how am I going to get a new customer? I got to get, people are going to cancel service, so then I got to replace that person. So yeah, that was definitely the challenge. I really like to work outside, and mostly being my own boss and not having somebody tell me what to do all the time. There was a small stint where I was getting worried about health insurance and life insurance and dental insurance and all that, and I decided, well, I think I'm just gonna go work for the post office because that, that's a good job, and it has all these benefits. So I did all that. I took all the testing, got the job. I was delivering mail in Fillmore, California, and the boss there, the postmaster, he micromanaged me, and he'd follow me around all day, and you got to cut through this yard, you got to work faster, put that in faster, and I didn't like that, and I told myself, when this is it, I'm done with this job. I worked there maybe 60 days. And at that time I had a business, pool business, but I only had a few customers. And that motivated me to say, okay, I'm done with working for people. I'm going to do my own thing. And I don't want to be micromanaged. And when I do get an employee or more, I'm not going to treat them like that. They don't need that. They're human beings. I'm a human. You don't need to treat people like that. So that really motivated me to build the business. Definitely asking for help is very important, and you have to develop that skill to ask people. And most people will want to help you. I mean, if they're already knowledgeable about a situation or a mechanical issue, they want to share that information with you. I mean, even people that you don't know, like on YouTube, you look up a video, how do I do this? Well, it's the same in the pool industry, and especially if you already know them, say through IPSA or another social media group or something. Don't be shy about asking. Pick up the phone, call them. Say, hey, I got this thing going on. What do I do? I had a good friend here when I first started taking apart, pool pumps. I was on the job and I called him and I said, oh man, I took this thing apart. I have no idea how to put it back together. And he said, oh, just bring it over here, bring it to my house. And so I brought the whole thing over there. And he's just took his time and showed me how the pump goes back together, what bolt goes here, what terminal goes here. And I just remember being so grateful because I don't know who else, I could have turned to other people, but he really took his time. And that's Rob Beach. He's in Canyon Lake right now, but he was a big inspiration to me. That's one of the biggest advantages to being a member of IPSA is they provide sick route coverage, where all the members of that chapter, say there's 10 or 20 members, if one of those members gets sick or breaks their leg or something, can't work, all the other members will go and service his pools free of charge, and that sick member continues to bill the client and collects the money from that. So and that, like, wow, that inspired me to really to join IPSA, and that helped to inspire me, knowing that there's a community out there that cares about me and I care about them. Kind of going back to IPSA, they kind of have a motto, and it is, you're on your own, but you're not alone. And I mean, that's always how IPSA has been. And IPSA has really been one of my big motivators too, just being in that community. And I think it's kind of, it's I wouldn't say it's a lonely job, but you're definitely working on your own. And there's things that you're going to run into that you don't know, and you know that other people have been through that. So it's nice to be able to call somebody and ask, for help. One of the things that I did, that is my brother-in-law, Jay's Pool and Spa, I needed somehow to get new customers. I was talking to him, and he says, you have to do some marketing. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? And he said, well, get a yellow page ad. Back then, there was just the phone book, the yellow pages. And he said, you got to get a half a page ad. and list all the things that you do. And I said, well, Jay, I checked it out, man. It's $400 a month. I can't afford to do that. And he said, just put it on your credit card and you'll be okay. Just do it. And so I did it. Got the Yellow Page ad, $400 a month. And the very first, like within a week of the ad coming out, one of my first calls was a commercial pool here in Hemet. And I went and gave the bid and I said, this is kind of a big pool. And I told the manager, hey, it's $400 a month. And they said, okay, go ahead and start. So at that point, it was like, wow, I just paid for the Yellow Page ad. And then after that, I started getting a lot of calls, like commercial and residential pools. So me putting that money out there and taking a chance, it all worked out. It worked out for me. Google really helped out. I built a website and all that, had somebody do that for me. And just started marketing that way. But even today, things have changed. Like a lot of social medias out there, Instagram, Facebook, all those. I'm not really on those today, but I would say that's the wave of the future. I guess you could say that. Oh yeah, there was times where I was down. I didn't have very many customers, and I was trying to pick up new ones. I mean, there was a time where I was knocking on people's doors, just you could get a list of just pool owners. And what I did is I knocked on their door and gave them a little flyer and tried to do that. And just try to keep doing something that's gonna help you. There was a time where I got these little postcards and I would send them out to all these people through the mail. This is, again, before Google and all that and social media. I mean, whatever's available, take advantage of it. And that's what helped me to overcome my fear of not having a client or more. When you get a new client, it kind of gives you some motivation, some real hope that, hey, someone believes in me. When you're young and you're starting out, I mean, for me, I think that a lot of people didn't take me serious, especially like in my early 20s. I mean, who really thinks that you know what you're doing? I mean, and that's kind of the feeling that I had, like, I know what I'm doing, and these people don't believe that I know what I'm doing. But as I got older, that I kind of overcome that, and I think people started to believe in me. I give a lot of credit to those members of IPSA, the Independent Pool and Spa Service Association. They have chapters throughout the nation, and I was president of the chapter here and treasurer, and then I became regional director of our region here. And meeting and working with other leaders in the industry, dealing with government relations and education, that was kind of big, and that helped me to help others to get their business going and to learn about the industry and what the industry can do for me and others. Yeah, I was up and down emotionally. I mean, I would pick up a new customer and I'd be so happy, and then I get a call and somebody would cancel service for some reason. It didn't even have to do with me. Maybe they were selling their route, or their house. Maybe they lost their job or something. That had nothing to do with me. They were still happy with me, but maybe I feel like I was doing a good job, but maybe there was something that the customer doesn't want to tell you. Like, hey, one day I said something or did something that upset them, but they don't want to say anything. Or, and then the other half is, oh wow, I lost that income. I had that budgeted to do this or that. When you lose a client, and even today when I lose a client, I feel discouraged, and it's something that after a while I've kind of overcome it, because in my mind I'm very confident that there's another client that's going to come and fill that gap. The question is, are you showing up on time? Are you doing what you said you're going to do? I mean, did you shut the gate? Did you let their dog out? Did you brush the pool like you said you were supposed to do? You know, were you there? Were you there, or did you just skip the pool and tell them that you were there? I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it. Just keep going. You know, don't give up. I mean, if this is something that you like to do, you know, you like to be outside, you like to own your own business, I would encourage those starting out to continue to do that. You know, it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like a sales technique or something. But usually, like, especially a new client, like, say, you know, I meet them in the front yard and we go walking to the backyard and I see that they have an RV. Oh, hey, do you guys go camping often? You know, we go camping down at Oceanside, or we go here or there. Have you guys been lately? And I just try to spark up something that I see in the backyard, or maybe they have a street bike, a motorcycle. Hey, you know, I've ridden up to Idlewild a couple times. Have you been up there? I mean, I know you just moved here. You know, you could. It's a nice ride going up there. Just try to connect with something that you see that the customer has or does that you can spark up a conversation about. Yeah, I would say one in particular is a dentist I have, and I have been since I think it was 1992 or something. It's been a long time. Uh, we've been trading work. So I was the coach of his son. His son and my son are the same age, and we went in there for some dental work, and I didn't have the money obviously to get the dental work done. So I asked him, "Hey, do you have a pool?" And you know, we just started trading work, and that was, you know, probably, I don't know, 25 years ago or something. Yeah. He's probably the oldest one, but then there's a lot. I have quite a few that are 15, 17 years. No, I would say, you know, everything's pretty cut and dry when you're giving a bid on a pool. Just ask about their dogs. You know, if they have dogs, that could be a dangerous thing. Ask about their gates. You know, any or a specific time that they want you there. You don't want to go to a pool that's out of your time schedule. You know, if it's a normal Wednesday pool, you don't want to go there on Friday unless you communicate with them and say, "Hey, I'm down today. Can I come by on Friday or whatever?" And then usually clients are really um, pretty good about switching their day, or if you got something going on and you need to take a day off, they're okay with it. All it takes is communication. Just let them know. It's not that you're a day late that they're upset. They're upset that you didn't tell them that you're a day late. So yeah, I think communication really is the biggest key. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of customers, you know, where you talk about different things, and some customers I look forward, like, oh wow, I want to go to this. I hope they're home today. I'm going to see them today because I want to talk about this political issue. You know that, you know, we kind of. I have a customer that we kind of go back and forth, you know, politically, but we're still, you know, we're still friends. You know, it's still all good. But then, you know, even on the other hand, you're like, oh man, I hope this customer doesn't come out because I'm in a hurry and I can't talk right now. I gotta go. So I mean, it's just, you know, it kind of runs the gamut. You know, you look forward to seeing people, and yeah, you really develop, you know, some friendships. You'll see them around town in the grocery store or at a restaurant or something. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, this is kind of in my early days. One of my customers, the pump broke, and I said, hey, you just need a new motor, and I gave her the bid for it, and she said, okay, well, I have another company that does all my repairs for me. And at that time, I was doing the weekly cleaning service. So I went there the next week. The pump was not installed, and it was the dead of summer. So the pool started turning green. And then, so I did what I could, and I let her know that I was there. The next week I went there and I said, hey, is the pump's not installed? She says, well, I'm still waiting for him to come. And I said, I could have this fixed tomorrow. I could go pick up the parts and put it in. I had plenty of time. I had the knowledge, but she said, no, we're just gonna wait. And I said, well, the pool's turning green. And she said, okay. So the third week I went there and the pool was just about totally, you couldn't see the bottom of the pool. And the guy had still not installed the pump. And anyways, I said, hey, what do you want to do? She goes, well, he's coming tomorrow or whatever. So he finally installed the pump, and then the pool's green. I got it all cleaned up, and I said to myself, I don't want to work for somebody like that, you know. My price was good. I could have done the job quickly. She wouldn't have had to do all this. And so I cleaned up the pool. I didn't want to leave it like that. I mean, that's not the right thing to do, to walk away from the job like that. So I got the pool cleaned up, made it look good. And then I told her, I have to stop the service. And I told her that, you created all this mess for me to clean up, and I could have did that job. Yeah, that's one of the only customers I canceled. I've canceled other people, but I felt like I had to let her go because if I'm cleaning the pool, why am I not doing the repair if I'm perfectly capable? If I feel like it's going to be a difficult customer or a difficult pool, I'll just raise the rate. I mean, it'll be really high. And that, I mean, if I could do it for that, yeah, I'll have to spend more time there. I'll have to pay my employees to spend more time there. So sometimes I'll just raise the rate. I won't just deny a customer. The only time really I deny them is if, they're not paying me, but that's another subject. I went to bid a job and I didn't know at the time, but when I got there, I went into the office because it's a commercial pool, and everyone was naked. So I really had a hard time, focusing on whatever I needed to do. Anyways, the office manager, she took me out. She comes out of the office, walks out to the pool completely naked. I'm like, and I think it was a pool light I had to look at, but I don't know. It was just weird. I was very uncomfortable, and I didn't go back to that job. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, seeing others be successful and having more employees and more trucks and more business, and just seeing that, hey, that's possible if I can just follow in their footsteps and kind of do what they're doing. Um, just being around people that were successful and wanted to help, that motivated me. Also, it motivated me in the business, and it motivated me to help others, to kind of repay, those that helped me. When I was younger, I don't, obviously I didn't have very much patience. I would kind of get upset at employees and yell at them for something. But just thinking back, it's like you really got to be, I mean, to myself, I have to be more patient and more kind with people because they're learning just like I did. Um, like any mistake that my employees make or made, I've already made that mistake 10 times. And so I say to myself, well, why am I getting upset at them for doing that when I did it? I did it, many times. So yeah, just be more patient and be more kind. Well, I would set time schedules for each client. I would say, okay, hey, I'll be here, on Monday between 9 and 10, and this will be your slot pretty much. If I had a new customer and I had to do a repair, I would say, hey, I'll be here at this time. It's going to cost this much. I'm going to do this, and I would follow through with that. I think following through with what you're committed to do or what you've promised to do is very important. Pay the Pool Man has really, I feel like it catapulted me as one of those big steps, especially with, taking the picture each visit and getting an email every week and just the convenience of the email, the convenience of the communication that Pay the Pool Man provides, it's been great for my business, and I'm sure it's been great for many others. Well, yeah, those in the pool industry, like my uncle, my brother-in-law, Jay's Pool and Spa, and Paul's Pool Service in Torrance, they always said, finish the job. Just do the right thing. If you installed something that broke, go back and fix it. If you messed up something, go back. Finish the job. I mean, it's moral. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do what you said you're going to do and do it right. I mean, even the law says that. Being a licensed contractor, I mean, one of the laws is, you can't just abandon a job. It's illegal to abandon a job. You can't just start a job and not finish it. It's the law, and even more importantly than that, it's the right thing to do. And most people, they know that what the right thing to do is. It's just hard, and some people just reach down and do the right thing. It's hard. Just do it. Well, I think you need to look professional first of all. You need to have that look of a uniform, or at least at the very minimum a T-shirt that has your name on it. But something more professional than that would be good. Some kind of advertisement on your truck so that when they pull up in the truck, they see your name. Wear some decent clothes. Don't wear a tank top and flip flops. That's people don't really like that, and when you show up like that, they expect to pay a low price because you're not doing all the things that you're supposed to do. Yeah, there is a lot of freedom, but you still got to go to work. I mean, it's not like you can just stay home. Oh, I own this business, so I can just stay home. It doesn't just run itself. I mean, you have to be out there doing it, and take your weekends off. It was hard for me at first because it's hard to say no. Even today, it's hard to say no to any new jobs. But I would say to schedule it for the next week. I mean, don't work into the night. Don't work past 4 or 5. If that's your time. But yeah, you have to spend some time with your family and your friends. That's real important to do, and I would encourage people to do that. And I encourage people to take vacations. Uh, for me and my business, I take off 4 weeks per year, and people understand that. They know, hey, I'm not going to be here this week. Like, say Thanksgiving, Christmas, and a couple other weeks. I usually take another week to go to seminars or a pool show or something, and that's important too, to just take some time off. It's not all about work. What I would suggest for somebody just starting out is to definitely look professional, like I said, and take some classes, learn about what you're talking about, so that the customer uh, can look at you and be confident that you know what you're talking about, and you can learn those things through seminars, online training. Uh, there's many educational opportunities out there. The other thing is just, I mean, as I get older, I feel more confident when I go in somebody's backyard now and I tell them, hey, you need a new pump or you need a new filter. They just like automatically believe me. And it's true. I'm not just trying to make a sale. That's really what they need. They need a new circuit board for their heater, or you know something like that. And today, that's I'm very confident when I tell somebody, hey, you need this, and they look at me and they believe me. So I don't know. I think maybe, I don't know if it's old age maybe or something, but something gives me the confidence to say, hey, you need this. And I would say most of the time when I tell people what they need, they do it. Of course, and if I don't get the job, if the bid is denied, I'm okay with it. It's not hurting me today. I mean, maybe before it was, but as the years go on and as more business comes in for me, I'm very confident that things are fine. When you've got like say a heater that's pretty easy install, it's just the uh, same connections, same model, same make. So where it switches out really easy, and yeah, it's good. It's a good profit. I work for a couple warranty service companies and manufacturers. So when you become familiar with that particular manufacturer's equipment, say heaters or lights or filters, it just becomes yeah, I know what's going on. The lights flickering. Oh, I know what's going on there. Yeah. I already know what to do when I'm driving over to the job. So yeah, I mean, but it takes years of experience and doing the same job over and over to gain that. I don't remember things being so critical and crucial. When people would call you, it'd be like, hey, can you come and do this? And I'd say, yeah. But today, people, oh, there's a problem with my app. I can't turn my lights on. My pool pump's not turning on, and it's like an emergency. People are today are, we need to get this right now. You have to come by right now. And there was no urgency back in those days, even, especially when I was working with my uncle. Yeah, I think for me, my next step, maybe in the next year, couple years, is just to downsize and not have to worry so much about all of my clients or my employees, just to kind of do my own thing and take on the jobs that I want to take on. I'm John Bettencourt. I own John Bettencourt Swimming Pool Service here in Hemet, and this is my pool story.